You see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hoax. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
More on the breaking news coming from the Wall Street Journal tonight. The Journal is reporting a letter bearing Trump's name given to Epstein in 2003 was part of a leather-bound book for Epstein's 50th birthday. According to the Journal, it contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, tonight we have to react to what I am rapidly already anticipating is going to come out to be one of the most ridiculous anti-Trump hoaxes in all of media history. Frankly, this rings eerily similar of the suckers and losers attack back in 2019, where The Atlantic tried to claim that Trump somehow, even if you believe he's a sociopath, even if you believe he's a really bad guy, the utter ridiculous political calculus of apparently, according to them, going to a World War I cemetery and basically just denigrating all of the people who died. Never believed that back then. But apparently today, we have to talk about the Wall Street Journal's reporting on this 50th birthday letter that Trump allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein back in 2003. Except when you read the contents of the letter, the way it's written, what it says, and the alleged signature, the drawing here, none of it even sounds like it is in the character or person of Trump. I mean, we've dealt with him for years. We know all about his writing style, his thing, the things he does. It just totally seems like something not even from the same stratosphere here. And look, obviously people will believe what they believe, but it is worth noting Trump is already threatening and moving here to sue the Wall Street Journal over the publication of this letter. And we'll go through this and allow you to decide because, you might say, okay, Vince, you support Trump, obviously. So, you're going to be biased on that front. It's like, okay, I'll let you also decide. I'll also note to you that even Elon Musk, of all people, who is the same guy who was accusing Trump of being in the Epstein files and all this stuff, is even himself saying this sounds like a ridiculous and completely unbelievable media hoax. It doesn't even sound like him. So with that said, guys, we will show you the alleged contents, not show you, tell you. Okay, you don't want to show that. Tell you the alleged contents of this Epstein letter here today and allow you to decide. But again, this seems like something that is completely ridiculous to me, but we'll get into it. First though, folks, as usual, do us a favor. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Subscribing here, guys, is the best way to support these videos, and it also ensures that you can stay up to date with all of the latest news and coverage here. And with that said, so let us get into this article. We'll read it for you out of the Wall Street Journal. As you can see the headline here, right? They're claiming one of the letters in the 50th birthday album from Jeffrey Epstein that was collected here by Ghislaine Maxwell back in 2003 was from Donald Trump. It is worth noting the timeline here that, Jeffrey Epstein turned 50 years old in 2003. He was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago and had a falling out with Trump back in 2007 after Trump learned of many of the accusations and shady behavior around him. And so, this attempt throughout the years to tie the two together has never, frankly, in my eyes, been substantiated. I mean, Trump was the same guy back to, 2016, right? Back before even this stuff was majorly being talked about by many people, right? Warning about Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and maybe some shady connections there to Epstein's Island.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
It's under his administration where Epstein finally got nailed. But this is the argument they're trying to make just in the wake of the current controversy where people are saying, well, are they hiding something? Are they not? Poor communication on that front. So we'll get into it though. Okay. So look, let's read it. Let's see what it has to say. So here you go. It was Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday, and Ghislaine Maxwell was preparing a special gift to mark the occasion. She turned to Epstein's family and friends, and one of them was Donald Trump, according to this article. Maxwell collected letters from Trump and dozens of Epstein's other associates for a 2003 birthday album, according to the dossier reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. So these are all in a leather-bound album. Again, the source here, according to the Wall Street Journal, by what I can attain, is Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Assembled before Epstein was first arrested in 2006. Among the documents examined here apparently by Justice Department officials, as they're saying, it's unclear if any of the pages are part of the administration's recent review. But as you can see, right, apparently, this is what they're claiming. The letter, which is bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album, apparently according to them. It contains several lines of typewritten, a typewriter, not handwritten, not, I guess it's 2006, but still, you have computers, you have printers by then. Typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman there, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking what would be there, like the hair down there, right? And the letter apparently concludes, "Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." Now, right off the gate, I think there are many things here that are odd. Just again, we know Trump, we know the way he writes, the way he speaks, the way he treats things. Does any of this sound like him? First of all, he would typewrite something, kind of strange, right? He's going to draw that, right? I've never known Donald Trump to be someone who likes to draw things, And it's like, that's the letter you would send. It's just kind of freaking strange, right? And then on top of that, I even hone in here on the fact that Trump's signature was allegedly just signed as Donald, right? We know Trump to be someone who is massively obsessed with like his full proper signature. He's super into it, right? Big thing with him, right? He always signs his name as Donald J. Trump in that iconic fashion. Apparently, according to this letter, conveniently, we don't have that iconic Trump signature here. We instead have just a pure Donald, right? Donald who? Donald who? Nobody really knows. But, there you have it. So that's why I read all of this. I'm like, none of this even sounds like Trump. And we're supposed to sit here and believe this. Oh, trust us. The Wall Street Journals. Oh, look, we have this, right? Very interesting. This could be a case perhaps where the documents are so old, whatever, right? They can't prove necessarily if it was him or if it was not. But it is worth noting here that in an interview with the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture, saying here, quote, "This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story," he said. And notably, as I kind of pointed out there, quote, "I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women," he said. "It's not my language. It's not my words," which is corroborated by at least a decade now of being very familiar with Trump's mannerisms. But even go back to look back, back then, he's kind of always spoken the same, written in the same fashion. You look at even his Twitter account before he became president. The language here, the style, even the signature, again, it's worth noting, none of this sounds like him at all. He further told the Journal that he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published this article, saying here, quote, "I am going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else." So worth noting there. We'll see what happens on this front, right? Again, the Wall Street Journal could say, oh, plausible deniability, but they're apparently making the claim definitively. They're saying that it definitely was from Trump and all this stuff. So, very interesting on that front. So, yeah, as is worth noting here by ALX, the birthday card says Wall Street Journal says that Trump wrote does not match his writing style. If something came personally from Trump, it probably would be handwritten, not a typewriter. And yes, this whole thing definitely does appear to be made up. Here is Trump saying he's going to be suing the Wall Street Journal as it goes on here. And it's worth noting here, yes, even Elon Musk, of all people, okay? Elon's been saying a whole lot lately, but he came to the rare defense of Trump on this one, saying, quote, "It doesn't sound like something that Trump would say, to be honest," right? And Elon, of course, has, been around Trump for many months now, knows the mannerisms, know how he talks, what he's up to, right? It just, again, this is supposed to be something that we are going to just take at face value and believe. Not really sure about that. Now, with that said, of course, the folks over at CNN, you have Bill Kristol here and, CNN hosts, trying to really make this a story, trying to say, oh, look, definitely this is something that ought to be believed. So let's take a listen here to their coverage of it, and then we'll react to it live.
Wall Street Journal is reporting that there's a letter that bears Trump's name that was sent to Epstein in 2003. Now, according to the Journal, Bill, it contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist.
Again, that sounds like something he would do. By the way, how do you know that this document has been altered throughout the years? Has anyone also asked that question, right? How do you know Ghislaine Maxwell or Epstein, even if there was a birthday card that was sent, how do you know they aren't the ones who drew it on there, right? Did anyone ask these questions? No, of course not. Conveniently, right?
Journal says mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. All right, Bill, I mean, that's just disgusting. But in an interview with the Journal,
it's also just not how Trump speaks.
Trump denies writing the letter. He denies drawing the picture. He says, this is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words. And he told the Journal he's preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else. So, Bill, I mean,
well, the Journal
here we
published the
are.
article
I mean,
just
the Wall
now,
Street Journal,
as you
obviously,
say,
with
so-
incredibly rigorous standards, is publishing this.
Yeah, and Trump, the president of the United States, who's a big litigious guy, threatened them with a lawsuit. They seem quite confident. It's a birthday card, apparently, in a book of kind of birthday cards for Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003, I believe. So that's 15 years after Trump already knows Epstein pretty well. It has this, apparently it has this kind of typescript of an imaginary conversation. I could just maybe add to what you read, if it's okay. Donald. So it goes like Donald, : we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Again, does this sound like, is this how Trump talks at all? It's not, right? And again, Trump has a very iconic speaking style. We always, whether he's speaking it or he's typing it, his books, he has a way of speaking, and this is not it, right? This is not the style whatsoever. So you reading that, I'm not sure. Also, that's something he would write on a card. He's going to write this like weird play or this like love poem to another man. Like that seems like something he would do. Again, believe what you believe. I mean, the anti-Trump people are going to say, of course, 100% real. Trump people are saying it's not real. But I'm looking at it as honestly as I can. It doesn't even sound like him. It sounds so outlandishly ridiculous here, just in terms of the style, that it just is not credible to me at all. And of course, looking back, thinking to the, as I said in the beginning, right, the suckers and losers hoax, which again also just sounds like completely ridiculous. All this made up hearsay, right? Oh, look, we got this document. Again, how do you know that it's real? We know, by the way, obviously, the Epstein and Maxwell were, demented lunatics. You didn't think to question whether, like, you could source accurately that this came from him, this was a real birthday letter? Or heck, another question I might have on this is, that if this were real, that'd be something pretty damning. You mean to tell me in the entire course of, say, the 2020 or 2024 election, after Epstein obviously became this infamous figure, that this was not utilized against him, but suddenly, now that like there's a controversy about it, hey, here's the time to publish it. Really? They tried to throw this guy in jail. Okay, they tried to throw this guy in jail. And this one piece of information, which apparently you was out there, according to them, you could find. Really? No, I'm sorry. As I said, believe what you want. I'm not buying it at all.
For me, I mean, that's a kind of weird, what is enigmas? I mean, is that a word that Trump and Epstein used to convey something that they shared? I mean, we know that. So I think this will raise many more questions about how much how close Trump was, let's put it this way, to what Epstein was involved in.
Or it's also something very strange that he wouldn't say and did not say. Have you considered that aspect of it? Okay, just brief editor's note here, because I don't know why I did not bring this up while I was making the video itself, but it's worth noting the person you just saw on your screen talking is Bill Kristol. Bill Kristol, one of the chief architects and propagandists in the Bush administration for the Iraq War. That is the person who CNN is bringing on to be the sort of moral truth authority on the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Are you freaking kidding me, right? This guy who led hundreds of thousands of people to their deaths based on a lie. He was lying through his teeth the entire time, complete propagandist. Arguably ought to be sent to The Hague to be put on trial for war crimes, right? That's the person we're talking about. They're going to bring him on to be some type of moral authority on the issue of Epstein and Trump. Is it not just so transparent where this stuff is coming from? I mean, give me a freaking break. But anyways, okay, back to the initial video. I just want to make that point. The person on your screen right now arguably is a freaking war criminal. And they're, a real trusted source to talk about Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, whatever. Believe what you want to believe. But anyways, back to the video. Of course, N wokeness here is further pointing out, I mean, I think this take is accurate. Thoughts on the Wall Street Journal's, again here, supposed bombshell, right? This is the big drop. First of all, yes, that's it. That's what they have. Their big bombshell. It's a birthday card to Epstein, even here to begin with. Number two, yes, it doesn't sound like Trump at all. Number three, it was obviously 2 years before Epstein's arrest and before they're falling out. But I think most important question there, right? Where was it in 2016? 2016, but maybe people didn't really know about the Epstein stuff. Yeah, okay, 2020, 2024. They tried to do certain things to this guy. Notwithstanding, right, Butler, Pennsylvania, and the Mar-a-Lago or Trump International Golf course there. And it's conveniently, this never apparently existed until now. Very interesting, right? Also worth noting that as a pattern you often see, you cannot access this without getting through the paywall. Now, somehow I managed to get around it, making a free account, okay, on Wall Street Journal, which I will be deleting shortly after making this video, but we had to obviously show you, but, very convenient cash grab, I guess, for them on that front. I mean, we know legacy media is dying for a reason, but yeah, it's so important to the public that you have to pay them to read it. And the only thing you can see unpaid is the headline itself. Yeah, gee, maybe because when you actually sit down and listen to what's in it, it's ridiculous. As JD Vance here notes, forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter BS. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where is this letter? Yeah, by the way, can we see it? Can we see what it actually looks like? Is there going to be a picture? Or are you just going to describe it? Very convenient, right? Would you be shocked to learn that they never showed it to us before publishing it? We verified that it's real. Trust us. Oh yeah, can we see it? Can we see what it looks like? Pretty simple, right? Nope. Does anyone honestly believe this sounds like Donald Trump? Obviously not. This is the stuff he's writing like some weird like 18th century playwright or something, or that's what he's about, right? It's just ridiculous. A pal is a wonderful thing. Yeah, that's just something Trump talks. That's how Trump talks for sure, definitely. A pal is the wonderful thing. No, you know what he would say, right? He's a good friend of mine. You're a very good friend, right? The best. But a pal is a wonderful thing. Not Trump speak at all, obviously. He goes on here to say, doesn't it violate some rule of journalistic ethics to publish a letter like this without showing it to the victim of the hit piece? Well, I would think so, but obviously those do not exist. Will the people who have bought into every hoax against President Trump show an ounce of skepticism before buying into this bizarre story? No, of course not, because this is what? An example of Trump derangement syndrome, and we know how that goes. So there you have it, guys. Again, we'll see what ends up coming of this. Very likely this is going to be forgotten about by next week. I think it's also worth noting here, by the way, that the statement earlier this week that maybe like people thought Trump was attacking his own base. They thought he was like just disregarding the Epstein stuff. But now when you understand why he kept calling this thing a hoax, okay, maybe it was not properly explained and, probably that's an issue of messaging. But I think now when you read back on this statement, now it makes perfect sense, right? Now it sounds perfectly justified in terms of what he was saying, because as he notes here, quote, the radical left, this is earlier this week, again, this is what people got mad about him saying. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again, just like the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which Democrats swore had come from Russia. No, it was from Hunter Biden's bathroom, and even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in 2016. These scams and hoaxes are all that the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are not good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. But remember, this is what people got mad at this week. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Okay, so understand, right, behind the scenes, Trump right now this week was going back and forth with the Wall Street Journal. They're asking him about this. Maybe this is what he was responding to after all, right? Maybe the initial outrage by the base, people didn't realize, no, that's not really who he's talking to. Talking about this. The new scam is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into this BS hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, because even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 years, I have been more successful in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history, and all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and success of the starved Democrats Democrats is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. That's the hoax. We now know what the hoax is. It makes perfect sense, right? That's why also panic can sometimes have to calm down, right? They have to, Donald Trump, I can't support him. How did he say that? Oh, no, wait. Right? Let things play out. That's sometimes, even when I look at something that Trump does where it's like, well, what's up with that? Hey, let it see where it goes, right? Maybe see what the plan is here. So anyways, let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. So there you have it. So with that said, guys, I mean, obviously, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. There's obviously going to be people who just choose to believe what they want to believe, but I think it is pretty straightforward here, right? So let me know, though. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, guys, and until next time, God bless and peace.